Right then, Chelsea making moves behind the scenes, presenting projects and considering their options.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy, with me, your host, Jan. Hope you're doing well. Genuinely do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, of course, the twice daily series here, at the moment at least, on the channel where I reflect on all the happenings with Chelsea Football Club. Of course, there's many ins, ats, shake it all about, and a new gaffer to boot as well. Today we're speaking about two existing players in Kepa and Raheem Sterling, which have been written about and caught offside. Also, Benjamin Sesko, Chelsea have presented their project to him, and he, of course, is looking at a trio of Premier League clubs in Man United, Chelsea, and Arsenal, who are all representing different European competitions. Arsenal in the Champions League, somehow Man United in the Europa League, and Chelsea in the Conference League. But that's just next season. What about the whole project? We'll find out what's being said there. We are going to get into it today, guys. It's going to be a great video. Thank you to all the newcomers. Everyone is welcome here on Football Therapy. So if you're yet to join the humble, sweet, and knowledgeable community that is the subscribers to this channel, do consider subscribing. If you do choose to do so and join the fun, make sure you hit the bell. We're on the road to 200,000 subs, man. What a beautiful thing. And you can be part of that if you want to be. In the meantime, I'll thank you for liking the video. That's nice. And I will always encourage you to comment as we go. England last night. Maybe a quick word on that. Of course, I did react to the game, I say in its entirety, or at least the result, should I say, on Football Yannick, which of course is my second YouTube channel where I talk non-Chelsea stuff. So if you'd be interested, or you think you'd be interested in my commentary on non-Chelsea stories, do go check out Football Yannick. Of course, one Chelsea player featured in Cole Palmer, who actually didn't play too badly comparatively to the other England players. England lost 1-0 to Iceland. It's friggin' embarrassing. Somehow England, well, before that game, England were the bookmakers' favourites to win the Euros. I wonder if it would have changed because of one friendly, but my word, it was a bad watch against Iceland. And I ultimately said, it's a friendly, but we really wanted to win it, England, you could tell. So, and I kind of left the video, and I'll leave this segment here, saying England wanted to beat little old Iceland at home at Wembley, but they just couldn't. Yep. Alright then, Chelsea though, much more important, you just have to say. Three subjects, like I said, all coming from caught offside. We will end on Benjamin Sesko, because that is an interesting one. Of course, we've been speaking about Julian Alvarez. I've been saying Julian because I'm thinking like some people call Jan, like me, spell it with a J. I spell it with a Y, of course. Julian Alvarez. It's like Jose Mourinho. You never really know with the J's, but I'm surprised I didn't pick up anyone correcting me in the comments. Usually I do. I just saw Romano say his name, and I figured, yeah, that's probably it. So, we've spoken plenty about Alvarez. Chelsea are reportedly going to make an offer. Man City won't loan him. He does want to go if he doesn't get more game time, which looks like he won't as a striker. And Chelsea will almost certainly make an offer and feel things out, because we've spoken about here how he'd be so appropriate for Maresca and opportunism, and of course he's really close with Enzo Fernandez, etc. But we're going to talk about Sesko in a bit. A big tool striker, a bit different to Alvarez, but one that everyone wants. So we'll end on Benjamin Sesko, so strap yourselves in there. But I'm going to talk about two current Chelsea players. Again, both articles published on Caught Offside. Starting off with Raheem Sterling, Jason Pettigrove writes this: with a new manager in charge at Chelsea, the contract situations of Raheem Sterling and his teammates will be brought into sharp focus. So Maresca has been tasked by the Chelsea owners to take the Blues to the promised land, wherever the ruddy heck that is. Something the first team failed to do under Pochettino. I think the ambitions, or dare I say, expectations of the new manager are massive. It's a big task for the 44-year-old Italian who's never managed at the highest level before, let alone an outfit that is seemingly concerned the market in big-name transfer deals over the last 18 months. Important moment for Sterling at Chelsea. Owner Todd Boehly has made a real splash since buying the club from Abramovich. Again, sort of jarring that they all say Todd Boehly. Todd Boehly owns 10% of Chelsea. But still, it's an easy headline, right? Or it's an easy tagline. But as yet has failed to yield any type of success. Yeah, like proper success. Qualifying for Europe and Cup finals is fine, but we want more than that, don't we? We want Champions League and winning finals. That's what Chelsea's all about. And Premier League title challenges. Why come on. That's despite, or perhaps because of, a constant turnover of playing staff. Trying to get a settled starting 11 is nigh on impossible too because of persistent injuries to key players. Of course, the case of Romeo Lavia, he's yet to make his mark. He's only played 30 minutes. Of course, Christopher Nkunku took 2 steps forward and 1 step back throughout the campaign. And we spoke about him yesterday. Clubs have inquired about buying Nkunku from Chelsea, probably trying to take advantage, thinking, maybe they'd be tempted from a strong offer because he's not played, but Chelsea understand, and they are very aware of what a player they've got on their hands with Nkunku. And Nkunku wants to stay and make it work, so fortunately that's a bit of a nothing story, because I really want to see Christo pop off for Chelsea. I think he's immense. I think he's such a good player. Yes, Raheem Sterling was given a fair crack, but the former England international's form has fallen off a cliff. In the space of just a couple of years, he's gone from England and club regular to an also ran and has led to suggestions that he could be joining Mourinho at Fenerbahce. Yeah, basically he fell off, but the truth is, remember, he wasn't a regular at Man City when he was sold, because Pep used to love Sterling. There was an interview in 2018 when he was being asked, can Sterling become as good as Lionel Messi and stuff like that, when he had that great season. But he fell off and the relationship wasn't great. So it wasn't like he was, what Phil Foden is now to Man City when we bought him. So Fabrizio Romano said this. The strikers market is slowing and entering important weeks, and things will happen in June, but someone who is not planning on making a move, at least as of now, is Raheem Sterling. He isn't leaving Chelsea, and he's not joining Mourinho at Fenerbahce. Even the Turkish club are willing to make very good investments for the Portuguese manager, even though they are. Yes, they are. That's really interesting. The Mourinho effect is profound, isn't it? Like, he goes to Roma, and they're like, right, we'll get you Lukaku, we'll get you Paulo Dybala, do you know what I mean? Like, Roma shouldn't have these players, but when Mourinho comes to town, you get those players. And Fenerbahce are doing the same. It's just box office stuff with Mourinho. But yeah, I can't see Sterling wanting to go there, and he wouldn't get a sniff of any. Sterling's on £325,000 a week. That's like Saudi money nearly at Chelsea. Obviously, when the Chelsea owners came in, they wanted to please Thomas Tuchel early doors. Thomas Tuchel said, he's my priority target. He's my number one target, Raheem Sterling. And they were like, all right, let's just get him. And they gave him crazy wages. We've come a long way since then. I'll repeat, there's absolutely nothing between Sterling and Fenerbahce, no contracts ongoing. We follow the situation, but it's really quiet around Raheem Sterling at the moment. Look, man, Sterling's from London. He's finally moved back to London after God knows how many years up north, playing for Liverpool and then Man City, respectively. And he's finally sort of come home in that sense, come back to London. He's got a young family. He's playing for a big club in Chelsea, and he kind of wanted to be that guy. It turns out he can't be that guy in terms of like the put the team on your shoulder, Eden Hazard, express yourself kind of stuff. In fact, Cole Palmer is more of that guy as at 21, 22 than Sterling was. But despite that, I do want to reiterate something that I've said quite recently. I think he could have a lease of life under Maresca. I really do. Because we know that Sterling isn't that guy to be clutch and an individual flair. He's just not. But he is a great system player. He might not like it as much, and in his head he might think, oh, I want to be an Eden Hazard. You're not, bro. So let's move away from that and go over that. But if you can score an immense amount of goals in a possession Guardiola system, always stay fit, always stay professional, and always be an example for the younger players and be good socially around the training camp, which he is all those things, training ground, should I say. He is all those things. and go back to muscle memory. Do the passing football like you used to do with Guardiola. Run up and down, run into space, and then run into that space for a cutback like it always used to be. Now, granted, I know Maresca's football is very tiki-taka, lots of passing, playing from the back. I don't know systemically if it's exactly the same as Guardiola's circa 2019 football when there's all these cutbacks into the 18-yard box, and Sterling was almost always there scoring every single one. But I do feel, personally, if he gives a militant routine, like do this in the system, which you will get from Maresca, I do think we can actually, utilise Raheem Sterling in a really positive way. Maybe as a starter, as a left wing. And no one's doing that on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter. Everyone's building their prospective lineups with, whether it's like Palmer or Elise on the right, Palmer in the 10, and then Kunku on the left, and the new striker up top, whether that's Sesko, Alvarez. Everyone's getting terribly excited, as they do every summer. But I'm just saying, if it's more about the team and the system and the football than the individual flair, and it's been more about individual flair these last 2 years, if we're leaning more into a system and relying on the system more, I think a player like Raheem Sterling could really, really benefit, man, genuinely. So let me know what you think about Raz, and let's speak about Kepa. Okay, again, on court offside, Chelsea manager Maresca is preparing to take charge of the Blues. Of course, we partnered with Pochettino. Changes are expected at the club. Among the players that could leave, goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga, who of course spent last season on loan at Real Madrid, could also leave the club. The report is mentioning that the Spanish goalkeeper will only return to Stamford Bridge if he's given a fair chance to fight for his position. So a source told London World, which is the cited article here, he's expected to hold talks with the manager, but he has 1 year left on his deal and doesn't want to spend that just being on the bench in London. The entire case with Madrid is not closed, but it all depends on what Chelsea want to do, and of course how the talks with the new manager go, because normally in football, when there is a new boss, everyone gets a fresh start. Firstly, on Madrid, why is that case not closed? Because even if he signs a new deal with them, he'd have to sign third choice goalkeeper wages, which would be, what, I don't know, a quarter of what he's getting paid now at Chelsea, even at Real Madrid. Because Courtois, again, reluctantly, begrudgingly, I think he's the best goalkeeper in the world the last couple of years. Lunin is now the second choice. He's definitely a choice over Kepa. So why is it not dead? Why do you want such a high-profile goalkeeper as your Marcus Bettinelli? Do you know what I mean? I mean, maybe that's what Galacticos do, right? It's so tough because I guess maybe there's a world where Maresca goes, yeah, he's perfect. Let me have Kepa, please. I promise we'll be in a title challenge if you let me have Kepa. Chelsea probably go, all right, play Kepa as number one. We'll sell Sanchez. You can have Petrovic as number two. Whatever. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I don't think many Chelsea fans, even Kepa's believers who think he has got good, elements to his game, I don't think anyone's truly believing he's the guy now. And of course, Fabrizio Romano not long ago tweeted about how Maresca likes Rob Sanchez. Whether or not that's a club briefing, I wonder. I don't think Rob Sanchez is hyped up to be. He's not the passing goalkeeper he used to be hyped up to be. I just think we'll get another goalkeeper still. I genuinely do still feel like that. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because the goalkeeper needs to play as a backline player in Maresca's system. He needs to play as a defender, like come out as a passing defender, like really play out, advance from his goal in possession. And just Kepa going out and just going for a wonder. Just not any of them going for a wonder. Like we don't have like that aura goalkeeper that's just like, I'm an Alisson. Just these other La Liga goalkeepers as well that are really good at passing. I don't know. Anyway, very, very interesting. Of course, we can expect people like, other than Kepa, Lukaku, Breuer to go. Chalobah probably to go. Malang Sarr, I mean, come on. And of course, the big talking point is Conor Gallagher still. Lots of people want him to stay, including myself. But he's being touted heavily to be sold still. And his camp are talking to people, by the way. They are doing due diligence. Gallagher and his representatives, his family, are intelligent, despite being Chelsea fans and wanting to work at Chelsea. they're still protecting his career's best interests, and they have spoken to Aston Villa. You know, they will be looking at options, even if Connor's thinking in his head, I'll just stay and run down my contract if they won't give me a new one. I want to be here another season. Let's see how we get on, sort of thing. But goalkeepers, Kepa, leave your thoughts, chat amongst yourselves. Can't wait to read your comments on that. So we're going to talk Benjamin Sesko now. Again, caught offside. Jason Pettigrove writing an exclusive, the important thing, well, I guess exclusive from Romano, who, by the way, is affiliated with this publication, caught offside, so it's reliable in that sense. And yes, Arsenal and Chelsea waiting. Maybe not Manchester United. RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko is a player that is very much in demand at the moment. It's believed that as many as 7 clubs are interested in the 21-year-old services, meaning that he's clearly got a big decision to make. At such a young age, there's a reasonable argument to be made that he could perhaps continue his footballing education at his current club. There appears to a tendency in football these days, missing a B there, for young players to make the leap to the supposed bigger clubs as soon as possible, when perhaps it is detrimental to their long-term careers. If they're good enough, the opportunities will still be there in 2 or 3 years hence. Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Well, the example is like, of course, Kai Havertz came to Chelsea when he was, 21? I mean, Kai Havertz won the Champions League, Club World Cup, Super Cup at Chelsea. He scored in the Champions League final. It was the right move. And he's got no allegiance to Chelsea, and why should he have? I'm not one of these people that thinks that he should be all romantic about Chelsea. I've got no issue with him going to Arsenal, and I've got no issue with him preferring Arsenal to Chelsea whatsoever. I actually hold no grudges for that. I'm sure he's very thankful for coming to Chelsea, winning the Champions League and getting the move to Arsenal. He wouldn't regret coming to Chelsea at all. So I guess that's an example of a young player doing well. There are loads of examples of it not going well. Someone like Jude Bellingham going to Real Madrid at 19, no issues. Some people are just born for greatness. So yes, let's read on. One can even point to Kylian Mbappe's time at PSG. The fact that he extended for a couple more years, everyone thought he would, moving to Real Madrid at just the right time and when he was ready to do so. I actually think Mbappe should have gone to Madrid at least a year earlier, because he just gained nothing from PSG, although the deal was more achievable and attainable for Real Madrid, his dream club, because he waited. Whether Sesko decides to move on or not, it's clearly an important decision, and one that should be made clear sooner rather than later. So Romano says this: the most important thing for Sesko is to decide upon, first of all, whether to accept RB Leipzig's proposal of a contract extension and bigger salary. And I do wonder, because he's got a £55 million buyout clause, if that buyout clause will go up. But I said yesterday, they're reasonable, RB Leipzig's release clause. 47 million for Werner after scoring all those goals. Similar for, I think it's 50 million for Nkunku, which really, Nkunku's massive high profile. Like, these are reasonable buyout clauses, and inflation 55 for Sesko. I wonder if it would go up though. He has to tell them his feelings before the Euros and whether he will stay or extend and try and leave for a new experience. So yes, it is Man United as well. It's Chelsea, Man United and Arsenal have all presented their projects, and all 3 clubs are waiting to hear from Benjamin Sesko. They all have different projects, different ideas, and a different vision, and obviously different plans, as well as different kinds of proposals in terms of salary. I'm going to pause there and say, I'm going to bet the farm on Chelsea's salary being less, possibly significantly less, than both Arsenal and Man United. They are still paying the kind of salaries that Chelsea used to. Bukayo Saka's on like 350k a week, Kai Havertz is on like 250k a week or something, and Man United notoriously pay high wages. Like, what's 350, 375 for Varane, Casemiro, something similar. They just even like Jadon Sancho was on silly money. They just give everyone silly money. That might change under Ineos though, of course. I can guarantee you of that, as of today, Benjamin Sesko has still not decided where he will go, but he had some contacts with the clubs to understand about the projects and will decide in the crucial days ahead. Let's talk about this. Look, Arsenal they'll give him strong wages. Maybe not as strong as like a Bukayo Saka, but they might give him 200k a week because he's a high-profile player. You know, and they can give him Champions League. Man United will give him more money in Europa League. Chelsea will probably give less money in Conference League. So that's really important to talk about. But let's talk about the project. Because there's this mystical word. Chelsea have some kind of magical power when pitching projects to players, or certainly have done for the last couple of years. They impress, and this is widely reported, they impress agents loads, and they go, yeah, you should go to Chelsea because we've seen what they're going to do for the next 8 years, and it's perfect for what you want. We as fans have been watching the football and been rightly very, very frustrated in, poor results often, conceding loads of goals last season, and lots of change, like managerial changes. But that doesn't stop this peculiar, this holy PowerPoint presentation that they show agents and footballers, and they go, yeah, let's have that. So maybe we have designs and we can present a project for Sesko and say, look, we're going to play like this. You'll be playing with this player here, that player there. You're going to get fed like this constantly. You'll have the opportunity to score a lot of goals. And this is how we're going to structure your public profile and, your image rights and everything. And all encompassing, maybe they just can still impress. It does seem like that. It does seem like players are still very interested to talk to Chelsea, that we've still got that hashtag pull. And of course, London. I mean, Arsenal live in London. Live in London? Are based in London. They live in London. But, southwest London, mate. Swankiest part of town. Yeah. Look. Yeah. Said it in yesterday's video. You got this speculative 70 million mark that's been reported for Julian Alvarez and Benjamin Sesko for 55. I prefer Alvarez because I've seen him play in the Premier League and I can see how he operates, moves in space, passes, technical vision, great. But then again, if you want a big lump in there, if you want a big tall striker that can score headers, you go for Benjamin Sesko. Probably save yourself a bit of money as well. Very interesting. So let me know what you think. I'll put it out to you guys as always. I'm keen to hear your thoughts, feelings, opinions, musings, and all that kind of stuff. So do leave them in the comments. I thank you as always for liking the video, and welcome to all the new subscribers if you've chosen to subscribe. Alright, mate. Hope to see you back. Peace.